Shalawam, shalawam. Alright. Shalawam, shut the live out real quick. Okay. Gonna begin momentarily. Let's see if I can still get it. Nah, I can't get it. Alright, cool. So, alright, first and foremost, all praises be to Yahawah, Ba'ashem, Yahawashi, Ba'ashem, Kakadash. Double honors to the apostles, elders, and bishops of the great millstone, which rule well and teach well in sincerity, taught us this truth, and Shalawam to the Lord's hopeful elect, 144,000 men, as well as 1/3 men, women, and children, maintaining themselves, keeping the laws, commandments, and statutes to the best of their ability. Alright, calling on Yahawah, Ba'ashem, Yahawashi with all their heart, you know what I'm saying, and truly believing at the end of the day. It's your brother Yerami Kazak back with hopefully another edifying lesson through the spirit and power of Yahawah, Ba'ashem, Yahawashi, Ba'ashem, Kakadash. I hope that the signal is good and the sound is good. You know, if not, brothers could tell me in the comments. Alright. So I want to go into discernment in all things. Right? So you want to apply discernment. That want to be your main tool, right? When you go into any situation, how to, as they say in the world, read the room, right? You want to read the room, man. You want to, you know, check a situation out. Am I moving the correct way? Am I discerning the correct way? And discernment, you know, understanding is really a gift. Okay? It's a gift. So let's go to Malachi, the 3rd chapter, and verse 16. Then they that feared Yahawah spake often one to another, and Yahawah hearkened and heard it, and a book of remembrance was written before him for them that feared Yahawah and that thought upon his name. So a book was written, right? We always known that this was known as the book of the law. Okay? So the book of the law and wisdom books, things of that nature, everything was compiled. King David had books written, which are known as Psalms. Same as Solomon, which are known as Psalms, Ecclesiastes, Ecclesiasticus, right? These things were written in our nation. Okay? So you cannot deny that books were actually written. Right? It wasn't in the form of, you know, you look at it today, a Bible comprised of 66 books, you know, KJV, 80 books, the proper one, right? It was more so in manuscripts, okay? That's how it was written. It was more so in a scroll that would be rolled up, unrolled, and read on. That's how individuals had the scriptures back in the day. Right? But most definitely it was written down. We are an organized people. We keep records. Okay? So a book was written, a book of remembrance was written before him for them that feared Yahawah and that thought upon his name. So more so that's talking about the elect, the remnant. That's the ones that was going to read the book. Okay? If you don't fear Yahawah, you're not even going to seek his book. Or if you seek it, you're going to seek it to use it maliciously and wickedly, as some individuals do. And we have to discern between that. That's the point of the lesson. 17. And they shall be mine, saith Yahawah of hosts, in that day when I make up my jewels. And I will spare them, as a man spareth his own son that serveth him. So these individuals, Yahawah Ba'ashem Yahawashi will spare. He will deal with. He will be with. He will be a friend to. as he was to Abraham. He spared Abraham. Abraham was in idolatry, right? But he came towards Abraham and pulled him out of that. Took him out of the path that his father was walking. Because his father worshipped idols. His father worshipped false gods. The same way that us brothers have been pulled out of the things that our fathers worship. Right? Verse 18. Then shall ye return and discern. When do we return? That's talking about regeneration. To come back now. We return. Alright? We are back in that same lot. Because what is that lot? Those, let's read 16 again. Then they that feared Yahawah, so that's the lot. Those that feared Yahawah. Then they that feared Yahawah spake often one to another. So we doing the same exact thing that we did back in the day. Okay, we talking to one another. Hey bro, you see what Russia did? He about to declare WW3. You know, he about to declare it all against the US. They talking, we talking. Right? We're still talking about these things because we fear Yahawah. So watchmen are going to talk about the report that they saw. We're letting our brothers know the report. Hey, I saw this happening. I saw that happening. All right. What I just posted. I posted that the gas refineries in LA are shutting off. So therefore gas in Los Angeles and really, you know, the surrounding area will skyrocket to possibly $8, $9. As a watchman in this region, I'm letting individuals know. Alright, this is what we do. We speak about these things. So then they that feared Yahawah spake often one to another, and Yahawah hearkeneth. He listened. He hears us. He hears his elect. He hears his remnant, his hopeful elect. Those that seek him day and night, that cry and sigh. You think we crying for no reason? That he's not hearing our cry? Alright. And heard it. And heard it. He heard it. And a book of remembrance was written before him for them that feared Yahawah and that thought upon his name. So once again, that's the lot that hopefully we being of that number, we were in. Because we're showing it by the characteristics that were in that lot once again. Alright. And they shall be mine. We are his. We are what? Known as the apple of his eye. Saith Yahawah of hosts, in that day. What day is that? The day that we are approaching. These days, these last days. In that day when I make up my jewels. Alright? The day of Yahawah Bahashem Yahawashi. And I will spare them as a man spareth his own son that serveth him. Then shall ye, because what are we? We the children of Yahawah. We are sons of God. He's going to spare us like a man that spareth his own son. We serve him, correct? So we put in the deeds. We put in the work. So therefore, we're going to get out a certain reward. Now, for individuals that don't put in the proper work, you're going to get out whatever work you put in. All right? Learning that more so with, you know, everything that we do. I look at it with my garden. Okay, I put in the work. I water these plants every single day. What are they going to do? They're going to grow. They're going to grow and they're producing. If I didn't water them, they would wither away and they wouldn't produce. So it's based upon you and how much effort and dedication and love and care you put towards whatever work you're doing. How much you cared about it. All right. So we put in this work. How much do you want to serve Yahawah Bahashem Yahawashi? It's all up to you, man. You know, and based upon your past life lot. Then shall ye return. Regeneration, reincarnation, back again. And discern between the righteous and the wicked, between him that serveth power and him that serveth him not. So, yes, indeed, we do judge. We judge one another. We judge these heathen. We judge 2/3 of our people. We judge this entire planet. All right. Every time you look as a watchman and you make a judgment and then you bring back a report. All right. I saw people in, you know, I see your people, Father God. I see them in LA. I see them over here and over here doing wickedness. They're GBing, if you know what I mean, carrying a flag. All right. You see the women on the strip walking, selling their bodies, as you said they would be, harlots in the street. That's a judgment, right? They're doing this, they're doing that. Idolatry, vanity. They're loving themselves. They're being lovers of themselves, as you said they would be. They're obsessed with themselves. All this makeup, this witchcraft, all of this wickedness, all of this idolatry. And you look at an individual and you not judging that. You look at a person with a pew walking around throwing up West Side, all that, and you not judging that. Nah, that's just Ray Ray. He ain't, no, you are judging, man. Okay, this is a wicked ass individual. Okay, you're judging, and what are you gonna do? You're gonna move in a way. I'm not gonna hang around him because he has a lot of beef with other individuals. All right, Ray pull up. Hey, you need a ride? No, you're judging. You're not getting in the car with Ray because y'all could be at the stoplight and something pop off. Now it's a pew out, right? You're judging. That's discernment. You're discerning. You're discerning that it's a high risk activity to ride with an individual that's involved in gang activity. So you are discerning between the righteous and the wicked. His actions right now are wicked. I don't want to involve myself with that. Right? Let's get 2 Corinthians 6 and 14. As a matter of fact, let's go up some, because those Corinthians, man, they're known as the some of the most wicked Jake, and that's these 2/3. That's those YNs, all right? That's I would say the Corinthians is these major cities: Philadelphia, Chicago, right? LA, Atlanta, because they can't get right? So let's start. I want to go down to 13, but I actually want to get a lot of this. So matter of fact, yeah, we'll start at the top, and then I'll get a lot of this, and then we'll finish it up over here. We then, as workers together with him, beseech you also that you receive not the grace of power in vain. So for new individuals that's coming in, you got to discern. You actually have to discern a teacher. You got to be like, okay, is he coming from the scriptures? Or is he teaching filthy lucre's sake? Is he teaching for fame? Is he teaching for money? Is he teaching for this and for that? You have to discern if this individual is sincere. You have to discern these things. So it's discernment in all different type of levels, man. Okay? For he saith, I have heard thee in a time accepted, and in the day of salvation have I succored thee. Behold, now is the accepted time. Behold, now is the day of salvation. Giving no offense in anything, that the ministry be not blamed. So we have to watch our actions, watch our conversation, watch the way that we carry ourselves, showing ourselves to be men of Yahawah, Sham, Yahawashi, with good patience, good calmness, good self-control. As the scriptures say, if a man don't have rule over his spirit, then he's like a city with his walls breaking down, loosely quoted. Right? So you have to have control over your emotions. You got to have control over any situation. And that goes even further into discernment. Right? You got to discern yourself. All right, I'm getting a little hot in the spirit. I need to calm down. Right? I need to chill out. All right, let me handle this situation a different type of way. So discern yourself. Right? Oh, I need to leave. I just need to leave. I need to back away because this individual is bugged the fuck out. So let me leave before I say something that, would blame the ministry. So it's not all about cussing somebody out. It's not all about, yeah, this individual is wrong. Okay, he's wrong. I think the whole world can see that this individual is wrong. But hey, you done told him before, you ain't got to tell him no more. Let it be. Let's get Exodus 14 and 14. Real quick. Yahawah shall fight for you, and ye shall hold your peace. Okay, sometimes that's it. Just let it be, right? You don't gotta Hey, the brother Matazaba I've been saying a lot lately. Every action does not require a reaction. Alright? I don't know how I got a violation warning, but whatever. I'm not even going to react to TikTok. Just give me a violation warning. Let it be. Alright? That's perfect. The water TikTok, thank you for the violation warning. I guess I'm doing something that you found displeasing. But please don't take the live down. Can I finish it? The water. Alright. Let's finish the live. Like, why they gotta violate me? Alright, let's keep it going. Verse 3 again. Giving no offense in anything that the ministry be not blamed. Yeah, we can cuss. Yeah, we can do all of that. But sometimes, bro, we may cuss too much. Let's just be honest, bro. You know, we gonna be honest, bro. Sometimes it's good. You gotta learn how to adapt and use wisdom in all these situations. Yeah, you can cuss somebody out, but that's not the proper time. Okay? You may be cussing too much and you may deter someone that actually wanted to get the message, but they like, all you do is cuss. So through the cussing, they couldn't get the message. They couldn't listen. They couldn't sit. She might have been sitting with her kids or her, little kids, whatever. They ain't trying to hear that. So you have to learn to control your tongue in these situations, man. So the ministry does not be blamed. All right? So that's because, hey, brothers do be cussing. And we have to control our tongues. That goes for every single brother, man. You know what I'm saying? It's keeping it going. Verse 4. But in all things, approving ourselves as the ministers of power, in much patience, in afflictions, in necessities, in distresses, trials and tribulations, things that we go through. We have to show ourselves men of Yahawah, Sham, Yahawashi. Whatever trial and tribulation that you're going to feel, hey, you shall be tempted, and we know that shall come. So look at everything. I try to look at everything as a test, right? Try to do that. Keep that mindset. All right, Yahawah, Sham, Yahawashi, you testing me? I got you. Let me apply these scriptures. Go to the scriptures. You need help? Go into the accounts. Go into situations that your forefathers already went through and apply it to your life, right? I get that for you. Proverbs 15:1. A soft, that's a good one. A soft answer turneth away wrath, but grievous words stir up anger. All right. So if you're dealing with an individual and it's a lot of tension, you got to learn how to be Jacob about it. You got to learn how to chill back, play the bigger man. All right. Let an individual think he got it. Let him be tough. Let him have it. Hey, you got it, bro. Oh, for sure. You got it. You know. All right, you got it. Okay, we not here to be tough. We not here to assort, because what is that? At the end of the day, that's ego and that's pride. We not moving in ego and pride. We moving in the scriptures. We moving in wisdom. Be what? Be wise as a serpent, harmless as doves. So this ain't about being a tough man and cursing nobody out and you know what I'm saying? Yeah, you can't match me in the scriptures. No, that ain't about that. Okay? If you know you can cut an individual in the scriptures, so you know that. You got the confidence to know that you can do this. You know more than this individual. All right? Already through the spirit, you already won that battle. So do you have to prove it to him? If you can see, going back to discerning, if you can discern that this individual is not going to get it, you don't have to prove shit to him. All right? You already discern he's not going to get it. So you just play the situation the correct way. I get that for you. Proverbs 16:7. When a man's ways please Yahawah, he maketh even his enemies to be at peace with him. So move in the correct way and you'll see situations change up, and you'll see individuals recognizing you for the wisdom that you displayed. And they might come, I've seen it many times, man. Brothers come back, hey man, you handled that good, right? I was loose. I was a loose cannon that day. I was moving in emotions. They might come back and humble down and admit, all right, that they said this or said that and apologize to you. As the brother Matazaba brought out with the brother Big Bear. He apologized to brothers. Okay? So never stoop to their level. That goes to discerning. We are men of Yahawah by Hashem Yahawashi. We have to show ourselves as that. As we just read, let's go back to 2 Corinthians 6 and 4. But in all things, approving ourselves as the ministers of power. So you are showing yourself. You are proving to yourself. You know, you got to do this, man. You got to believe it in yourself as well. And you got to show others. That's why you got to move in the correct characteristics. Always think about what would Yahawashi do in these situations, man. All right, forgiveness is for you. Forgive those that trespass against you. And if you don't forgive those individuals, Yahawah is not going to forgive you of your trespasses. So we always have to play that bigger man position. We always have to be that individual that takes the low road. All right, most of the time. Now, are we going to get our time when we get to take these individuals out? Yeah, but that's not at this point in time. All right. So we cut how we cut, and if it needs more, we do it in a lesson like this. All right. We show ourselves to be apt to teach. We show ourselves to be patient, to be calm, because it might be a stigma on brothers that the world tries to take and use as an advantage against us to bring blame to the ministry, that Hebrew Israelites, all they do is yell and cuss out and yell at women, etc., etc. Yeah, that goes into the ministry, but brothers also teach with grace, with understanding, with patience, and brothers teach to the point, man. And you can't get a better edifying message, because this is where the truth is. All right, you can't get this from the Christians. You can't get this from the Catholics. You can't get this. No, this is where the spirit resides, man. All right, with the men of Great Millstone and affiliates. Okay. All right, and understanding that we are emotional beings. So yes, sometimes we may get heated in the spirit, and it may get to the point of where we putting curses on the individual. All right, that happens, right? Hey, we supposed to put curses on this place every single day, right? But we also have different sides of the coins where we show ourselves to be teachers. You know, let's keeping it going. Checking for precepts. All right, yeah, know them by their fruits. And moderators, y'all can block and anything. Y'all use discernment, because the whole lesson is on discernment. Sirach 28, 2-5. I get it for you up. Sirach 28, 2-5. Forgive thy neighbor the hurt that he have done unto thee, so shall thy sins also be forgiven when thou prayest. One man beareth hatred against another, and doeth he seek pardon from Yahawah. He showeth no mercy to a man which is like himself, and doeth he ask forgiveness of his own sins. If he that is but flesh nourisheth hatred, who will entreat for pardon of his sins? Exactly. Right? So you got to remember mercy in your wrath. You got to remember, hey, you know, this individual trespassed against you. Well, have you lived a perfect life? You didn't trespass against nobody, right? You got to look into the mirror and be like, I went off too. I went off before. He went off. I went off. All right? Let me forgive this individual. Let me remember when I was in that type of situation. Let me humble down. Let me not be high-minded in a situation, man. So we are all down here. You got to look at your brother, man. Hey, we all down here battling the flesh. That's what we all doing. I'm battling the flesh. You battling the flesh. Your woman battling the flesh. Your kids. We all battling the flesh. Ain't nobody Yahawashi walking in that sense. Even Yahawashi had to battle the flesh, praying to take that cup away in certain instances, man. All right? So this is a fight. But once again, it comes with that reward that we all seek, you know? And Lord willing, Yahawah, we get it. Let's keep it going. This is 2 Corinthians 6 and 5, and we're going to go to 14, and I'm going to wrap it up because I got about 10 minutes left. In stripes and imprisonments, in tumults and labors and watching and fastings. So all these things that we may endure. We may be cast into FEMA camps, prisons, right? All right, we may be infirmities. We may feel illnesses, sicknesses, all right, ailments. Okay, some brothers may feel, we all got different parts of the cross. We all got a different, unique cross that's carved out especially for us. So what a brother's going through, he's going through. What another brother's going through, he's going through. Don't compare what you're going through to another brother, because y'all are both shaped different and built different. You got a different cross to carry than that brother. But both of those crosses are going to be unique and hard for both of y'all. All right, at the end of the day. So you don't get into no competitive spirit. I'm going through more than that, brother. So, no, we all going, like I just said, we all fighting the flesh, man. All right. Verse 6, by pureness, by knowledge, by long suffering, by kindness, by the Holy Spirit, by love unfringed, by the word of truth, by the power of Yahawah, by the armor of righteousness on the right hand and on the left, by honor and dishonor, by evil report and good report, as deceivers and yet true, as unknown and yet well known, as dying and behold we live, as chastened and not killed, as sorrowful yet always rejoicing, as poor yet making many rich. As how do we do that? All right, we are, most of us are in poverty, most of us are low, right? But we make many rich, because this is the real wealth, this understanding, right? And as having nothing and yet possessing all things. Oh, that's beautiful. O ye Corinthians, our mouth is open unto you, our heart is enlarged. Ye are not strengthened in us, but ye are strengthening in your own bowels. Now for a recompense in the same I speak as unto my children. Be ye also enlarged. Be ye not unequally yoked together with unbelievers. For what fellowship have righteousness with unrighteousness? And what communion have light with darkness? All right, and that goes back to the point of the lesson, is discernment. You got to discern if this is a light congregation or if this is a dark congregation. Are they speaking the words of Yahawashi HaMashiach? Are they coming from the scriptures? All right, do they understand the prophecies? Do they have the testimony? Are they Isaiah 8 and 20 in it? Right? Are they Revelations 19 and 10? Right? Do they have that understanding? Can they tell you that the MOTB is the RFID C-HIP? Can they break it down to you? Right? These things are things that you look at when you're looking at a teacher, when you're looking at a congregation, when you're looking at the doctrine. Is the doctrine the same doctrine that Yahawashi brought forth? Right? So that's major. So like I said, it's discernment at all levels. As a student coming in, you have to discern if you're under the right teacher, if you're under the right individuals. Are they leading you the correct way? And I always say, man, Great Millstone and affiliates are leading the correct way, on the correct paths, changing so many brothers' lives. All right. And it's not them per se, but it's Yahawah that's pulling, and he's using them as instruments, right? At the end of the day, because that's where the 100% truth resides. I would tell any brother that with 100% confidence, man, because I'm an example of it. Plenty brothers on this comment board is an example of it. All right, we have left the world doing BS, doing this and doing that, and now we occupying till Yahawashi come. We doing what we supposed to do. We back in those lots that was spoke of in the previous scripture that we talked about, Malachi 3:16 through 18. We are standing in those lots and discerning between the righteous and the wicked. Back in this time, man. And that's a beautiful time to be in. So, wrapping it up, I discern every situation. Make the right decision. Don't rush in. Don't be hasty. Don't overspeak. Don't be over righteous. Don't overdo it. Don't be, you know what I'm saying? You gotta make the right decision. Keep a balance to it. Okay? This is not about being the greatest Israelite on the planet. Because you got some individuals, they want to be a super brew. Okay? Fringes everywhere, and fringes on the car, fringes on the, whatever. Alright, super brews. When they you can't, the law is not gonna save you, man. Alright, you keep it to the best of your ability. The Shabbat just ended, and where am I at? I'm at the plantation, working, right? So am I gonna be, so you can't be no super brew, okay? You can't tell your boss every Shabbat I gotta take off. Oh yeah, the Shabbat falls on Monday night to Tuesday. I'm gonna need off on every Tuesday to, no. I'm gonna be fired. Understanding that, I'm gonna be fired, right? So you have to move correctly. You have to understand. You have to discern even between these things, right? So that's pretty much it, man. I'll take like 2 minutes for questions, and then I'm gonna wrap it up. And I check the comment board. Podimos ser amigos de TikTok. I'm sorry, I don't speak the Espaniola. Yeah, if a brother could assist, I do not speak it. Alright. And Shalawam at the water for all the precepts. For everybody that added a precept. Come to the great escape. The mustard seed is planted on my wall. Yeah, this is not one individual is gonna have it. Understanding that. Okay? The scriptures actually, let's get that. It's Ecclesiastes 4 and 12. Because you talking about you, I'm going to pin your comment. You talking about you like you him or something. No. And if one prevail against him, two shall withstand him, and a threefold cord is not quickly broken. This is why the brotherhood is important. It's good to have your brothers on your side. Individuals that'll back you up, that'll help you, that'll correct you when you go off, that'll check you, that'll fix you, that'll help you fix your flaws. All right? So it's not about one individual at the end of the day, okay? It's about that brotherhood. It's about the house of David, man, the tabernacle of David. David had what? 37 mighty men, known as the dirt. I like to call them the dirty 30, man. You know what I'm saying? So these men got down, all right? They was not playing around, okay? Khan, 2 or 3. You got to prove all things with 2 or 3. You condemn a man with 2 or 3 witnesses. So these things are important. And that also goes to precepts. You bring this precept out, 2 or 3. So all these things add up, man, to how it is on the, you look at the judicial system, the executive, the executive, the judicial, and forgot the last one. But basically, you got these balances with the, the White House and stuff. You got these balances. Yeah, legislative, the water out. So judicial, executive, and legislative, you got these balances, right? So one branch can't override the other, even though executive overrides, because they do executive orders and things of that nature, right? Because really in the 80s, George Bush, the father, was basically the first king of America. But that's a whole nother lesson for a whole nother time. All right. But the way that it's supposed to work is the branches are supposed to balance each other out. Right. That's how it was supposed to work at the end of the day. Right. And that's what that's they getting everything from the scriptures, really. 2 or 3 witnesses. It's a balance. You know what I'm saying? I get y'all brothers' precepts, and then I got 2 minutes left. Ecclesiastes 4, 9 through 11. I was in the same chapter. 2 are better than 1, because they have a good reward for their labor. For if they fall, the one will lift up his fellow, but woe to him that is alone when he falleth, for he hath not another to help him up. Again, if 2 lie together, then they can have heat, but how can one be warm alone? Right? And you can take that back all the way to Genesis, the 2nd chapter. Yahawah was like, it's not good for man to be alone. So he had him a helpmate. He had Eve come along, right? So that's another way to prove that. 2 people together. Right? Two brothers, two minds, two. It takes two to make a thing go right, right? So two is better than one, man. This ain't no about, don't be no lone wolf. All right, yeah, some brothers are set up to go out and hold camp by themselves, but you always got brothers on the comment board, always got brothers helping, and that's a spirit to be in that, But at the end of the day, we ain't by ourselves, Shoot, watching the elders, watching brothers, understanding, writing down breakdowns, coming prepared, coming correct. And as I said, it's always mostly brothers on the comment board that's providing precepts. So this is never about us. All right, we're never alone. All right, and Yahawah Shem Yahawashi is always there. Angels encamp around about us. So we're never alone. If you thought we was alone, we're not alone. In 1 Corinthians 12:12. Coming from the brother in the cough. For as the body is one and have many members, that's another thing letting you know that it's many members, all right, many individuals, and all the members of that one body, being many, are one body. So also is Hamashiach, all right. So it's very important to exist in the body and fit in. You want to fit in. You don't want to try to stand out. You don't want to try to be, we see a lot of these guys. I ain't even got to name them. You already know. They already come to your mind if you've been in this thing. You already know who they are. They want to be him. They want to tell the elders to retire, and they want to be him. Okay? That's a worldly mindset that you are trying to bring into this truth, and that's not going to succeed. All right? You cannot be him. Who is him? Yahawashi is him. All right? At the end of the day, that's who's going to save us. Okay? It's a certain order. All right? At the end of the day, man. And even Yahawashi came in a low state as a slave. Right? He showed the utmost humbleness. He showed the utmost meekness. So we walk in that example. We have to move in that light. Right? You got these individuals making AI pictures of themselves like they already in the kingdom. That's not it. Alright? So hey man, I ain't see no questions. So I'm gonna wrap it up. Always, all praises be to Yahawah, Ba'ashem, Yahawashi, Ba'ashem Kakadash. Double honors to the apostles, elders, and bishops of the great millstone that rule well and teach well in sincerity, taught us this truth. Shalawam to the Lord's hopeful elect. Alright, the water for all you brothers up in here, man, that provided, precepts and everything. And Shalawam until next time. As always, Kwam Yasharahla and a Baba Ball to this wicked kingdom. May this bitch fall soon. Shalawam.